Hey everyone, Reseller here, and no, this is not that channel. What am I talking about? I got my Bitcoin shirt on, so I'm a little confused, and I just did a Reseller video just a minute ago. But this is Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. All my personas are all confused today. It is Sunday. It has been a very long week, and decided that next week actually is going to be a very busy week. So why don't I do a what sold on eBay this week video today on Sunday. Though a lot of the algorithm kind of data shows that doing Sunday shows isn't really a smart idea for my channel, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna do it. We had actually lots of great sales this weekend, so you guys are gonna see some pretty amazing stuff here. The other employees have really stepped up. There was some stuff that came out of left field. I was going through some Magic the Gathering cards on Friday. Luckily, I didn't have enough time to go through all those. Unfortunately, there was a Black Lotus in that collection, but unfortunately, it was a copy of one for those that have saw my Instagram post on that. I got super excited there for a second, and for those that don't know, Black Lotus is like the Mickey Mantle rookie card for baseball cards for Magic the Gathering cards. And for those that don't know what Magic the Gathering cards is, well, I'm sure you can go on YouTube and find a Bolo video about that. We want to welcome Tracy Thrifts and Flipper Joe to the chat. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. It is Sunday. It's like getting close to 6 o'clock on the East Coast. It is almost 3 o'clock on the West Coast. And if you are new to the channel, definitely go down there and click the subscribe button. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers. And once we hit 7,000 subscribers, we're probably going to do a 7,000 subscriber show and give away an Amazon gift card for all that fun stuff to show my appreciation to everyone. So definitely, I really appreciate that. Go down there, click the subscribe button, bell for notifications. We had some pretty good interviews last week, including Don the Oxen Professor. We had Krillin, and we had Land Shark Picker. So go and definitely check out those videos. And if you want to be on the show, try to find me on Instagram at Thrift Shop Hustler. Send me a DM and we can work something out. I would love to interview you. And you don't have to have 1 million subscribers. You don't have to be somebody. You can be anybody in the reselling business. I just like to talk to other resellers. I especially love resellers that no one ever heard of. For sure, those are some of my favorite people. Renegade Thrifter says hello from North Carolina. And Tracy Thrift says, I just shared my link to my Facebook groups. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. So actually, like I said, we had a lot of great sales. As you can see this thing right here. Look at this. Me and the Auction Professor were talking about garage kits the other day, how they can go for pretty good money. And we're going to go over that just in a second. So I want to wish everyone a happy Sunday. Let's get right into what sold on eBay this week for charity. Yes, charity. I work for the American Cancer Society. I run their eBay business. And so anything that you see here, 100% goes to the fight for cancer. So it's really amazing group. And give a thumbs up to the American Cancer Society if you are into that kind of thing, for sure. First up, we have this John Long Star Trek, the original series, Phaser model cosplay professional kit. And this thing is actually really cool. We got in about 4 model kits. We get in model kits from time to time. And I'm talking about the regular ones you can find in the stores. And it's kind of crazy that Michaels actually has model kits. They've had them for years. But when I first started seeing model kits in Michaels, I thought that was really cool. But anyways, this was, I don't even know if this was actually licensed by Star Trek. We see the restricted logo there. So I'm assuming there was some sort of licensing deal here. As we can see here, it was a phaser. So if you see a model kit that looks like this, like something that's just kind of odd, those are the usually ones that are garage kits. Like this is I want to say this is probably made out of a fiberglass material, the gray pieces that you see there. all the pieces that are above are kind of like brass pieces, all handmade. Um, I would consider myself a not a professional model maker, but I've made a fair share of models. And when I saw this model kit, I was just like, even for me who has done tons of models, I would have a hard time putting this thing together. But if you're a professional, someone put this together, it's literally like a working phaser or communicator or whatever the hell this is. It's really cool. But it was a limited edition. I saw that too. It was had a COA out of 2,800 pieces. It was signed by the president of John Long Props and Models. I saw another version of this go for $250 on eBay last time this was purchased. So we actually took a best offer for 180. I had this up for $399 for a week, and just to see like if it would sell or not. So we definitely had it up for that long just to see what would happen. And so, you know, our luck had it that it didn't sell for, you know, $250, but we did take a best offer for $180. As you can see, this thing is a pretty rare piece, and you can actually look this up and see what the other ones sold for. But like I said, we got in a group of model kits, and I went through all of them, but this one really popped out, and it was super small, and it sold actually fairly well. So definitely look out for garage kit things that kind of look like this, for sure. Oh, this is a good one. This is a great story here. Vintage Van Briggle pottery. I actually took I want to say I took a best offer for $350 on this one. For those that don't know, I've been, okay, so in 2019, I told myself I was going to learn everything I could about like pottery, glassware, and clothing, because those are the three things that I really am very weak at. Well, I guess I'm weak at a lot of things, even jewelry. I think I'm not that great at. But there was a few things I said, you know what, this year I'm definitely going to start to learn about this stuff. And what do you know? I learned about Van Briggle pottery like a few months ago. I was studying about Weller and what was the other one? Roseville. So there's these three different brands that I've been studying over the last few months. And I happened to be in a shop, and they let me go through the back room. And so I was picking up stuff up for a particular shop. I actually did a video on it. And if I can remember, I'll leave a link up there on the back end to that. I guess it was an ingest video where I was like basically showing all the stuff that I pulled out of that shop. But anyways, this thing was buried in like a box full of different things. And when it just like, it like glowed in the bottom of this box, and I pulled it out. I'm like, oh, what's this? And of course, I looked underneath it, and this is what the Van Briggle looks like. And this is from Colorado Springs. This is what the logo looks like underneath. And when I saw that name, I was like, oh my God. Like, now I knew at first it wasn't going to be like something that was like a crazy amount of money, because I think Weller, actually old Weller vases do very well too. And Roseville's kind of like on the lower end also. So I didn't expect this piece to be a lot of money. I did expect it to be in the $150 range. I was super surprised to find out that this was actually a really hard to find piece in this colorway. And so we took a best offer for $350 on this one. I did the high-low theory. You know, I price high, and then you can always bring down. I had this originally at $599, but we took a best offer for $350. This thing was beautiful. I would say out of the whole year, this has probably been my favorite pick of all the things that I've been able to look at. And we've picked some pretty good stuff in the shops over the last couple of months, but this thing was just beautiful. I have a huge new respect for pottery and glassware and that kind of arts and crafts kind of stuff, because I also feel that, you know, when I go into the Goodwills, those are always the sections that I would pass up. And so now I almost find myself exclusively going to the glassware first, because usually I would go to the toys and kind of like that kind of area first, because in every Goodwill, everyone knows the things that where they're at. And now I can find myself going to the pottery and the glass first because I feel like a lot of people they neglect that section. And I even found some mugs today that I couldn't believe that they were there. They were from the 60s, and just from knowing like what to look for. And so definitely, this is amazing. Definitely click the thumbs up button if you've never heard of Van Briggle pottery. I highly suggest everyone who's a serious reseller to go and at least spend some time in that category in learning about Weller, Van Briggle, and Roseville. You're probably going to find Roseville stuff more than anything else, to be honest. So there is that. Next up, we have these Gucci vintage glasses. And now, when I first pulled these out in that one video, the video that I left a link to, if you're watching this on the back end, were these Gucci glasses. And to be honest, like when I first pulled these out, I didn't even think that these were Gucci, because to me, I've never seen this Gucci logo look like this before. And so when I pulled these out, I kind of set them to the side. I didn't know exactly what these were. But then when I did some research, I found that they were like these very old Gucci glasses. Now, I can't exactly lock down the year. I want to say between the 40s and the 60s. Like, I know that's like 30 years of a time span, but it's somewhere in there. And so that's why the logo looks a little strange. And I did verify these against another known pair that were put up online before. And surprisingly, those were green and red, the stripes. This is the only blue and red version that I've ever seen that I can find a photo of anywhere. And so we took a best offer for this one, and I want to say it was like 2 something. Of course, I try to get 500 for it. I always price my stuff high just because we can pull it back at any time. And usually when you put your price high, now this is not a game plan for everyone. This just works for what I've done over the years. You can always pull the price back, and it kind of gives you a general range of like when people are sending a bunch of best offers, what the going rate people are willing to pay for something was. But anyways, we sold this for 250 something, I want to say, and it was a set of 4 glasses. So this is just what I'm saying about start to learn about glassware and pottery and stuff like that, because you never know what you're going to come across. Like if I would have just saw these at a thrift shop or a garage sale, I really would have really thought nothing of these. I guess if you looked in the bottom and it said Gucci, Gucci Italy, I guess that would be one thing that you would probably be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's I guess that is something. That is something. So still pretty cool. Like I said, study glass and pottery if you haven't already. Next up, we have this 1/2 carat diamond engagement ring. We get in jewelry from time to time, and like I said, I'm pretty weak with jewelry, but I've learned a ton over the last few months, and learning a lot about different jewelry. This was white gold. I highly suggest everyone get a few things if they're going to be serious about reselling. First off, get a nice gram scale that lights up. Did I do the Also get a ring sizer, because that's like one of the most important questions when people are buying rings, other than like how many carats or whatever, is the size of the ring. So get a ring sizer and some gold and silver testing chemicals. They're usually acid, so I mean, just be very careful. It's not like crazy. Well, I guess it is kind of crazy dangerous. Well, not really, but just be careful when you use that kind of stuff. Be in like a, an open environment. Wear gloves and all that kind of stuff. But we have all that kind of stuff to test. I'll also get like a really crazy magnet. But anyways, this was a very small ring. What size was this thing? Size 4.5. It was really tiny. There was one lady in the shop that I'm laughing because of that's my hand. I'm a hand model too for the rings. If this thing, like, I have small hands, and this thing barely fit on my pinky. That's how small this ring was. And one lady actually, this ring fit her perfectly, so much so that she was like, "Oh, how much are you gonna sell this for?" Or whatever. But anyways, it's a nice ring. The most questions that were asked about this ring was the size of the center diamond. and usually people want to know the millimeters. So Tracy Thrift says I have nice nails. A lot of people have said that. I just kind of take care of my hands. Like I'm an artist and stuff like that, so I use my hands to make a lot of things. And I don't know. I keep my hands very clean. I wash my hands probably like 14 or 18 times a day. I'm not kidding. But anyways, yeah. So if you're gonna be selling jewelry, rings, you got to make sure the metal purity. Make sure that you have the size of the center cut, the size of the ring, the weight. All this kind of stuff factors into when someone's gonna be purchasing this item, because there's a lot of people that will actually buy items like this kind of thing and like take it apart, melt down the metal, take out the jewels, and create something else. Like that's not uncommon for people to actually do that kind of stuff. So anyways, we took a best offer for $600 on this, and which was probably half of the appraisal value. I think this was appraised at like $1,200, but higher end jewelry and stuff like this is kind of hard to sell. You know, it's nice to find, it's nice to get, but people willing to pay, you know, top dollar for jewelry, unless it's like a Sotheby's or Christie's style piece, is going to be very hard to do on eBay for sure. Why did I have this up? Okay, there we go. This is the photo that should be up. We have some antique Soviet Union Russian silver spoons. These were a set of 6, and I want to show you guys the marking for when you see this Russian. I don't know why I can't zoom in. Oh, I guess because I'm zoomed in far enough. So usually in the Americas, it's like 925 is sterling. In Russia, you'll see that little star, and you could actually kind of barely notice it. But if you see 916, that's basically like the metal purity. Just like 925 is 92.5, 916 is going to be 91.6. I don't know why that is. I just don't know what the deal is with that. But if you see that 916, that's silver marking. And then this 9J, I'm not completely sure if that's even a J. It could be like I don't know what the hell that is. But anyways, that's when you see those, that's a Russian mark, particularly in that area of the world is 916, not 925. So once again, we put it on the scale. Like I said, I always highly suggest purchasing a scale, especially a gram scale like this one. I think this one was like only like 15 bucks, and it's really cool. It lights up. But anything you're doing with precious metals, people want to know the weight. So I highly suggest putting a photo of that for sure in your auctions. But anyways, we sold this. Let's see here. I want to say we took a best offer for. This shows like it sold for 93, but I'm thinking that's wrong. I want to say we took a best offer for $78 or something like this for this thing, plus $13.99 shipping. But it's one of those things. The main thing of this video, or this point of this auction, is just to look out for 916. It's the Russian mark for it's not really sterling, because sterling's usually described as 925. But anyways, that's that. Oh, this is a great one. Oh, when I saw that this sold, I thought this was like super, 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 super amazing. And Matthew Brunty's in the house with all those emojis. That's crazy emoji time right there. Anyways, this ukulele from 1915. When I saw that this sold, I didn't even realize that someone actually put this up on auction. And we actually took a best offer for $300 on this one. Eureka Shop did amazing this week. There were so many great things that sold through that shop. So huge shout out to Eureka for their sales on this. But this ukulele, we took a best offer for $1,500. If I would have saw this at a garage sale, I would have thought nothing of this. So that just shows you, I've been in this business for a long time, that I don't even know, I don't know anything. Like when you see like the ukulele like this sold for $300, and I can imagine if it was in better condition, it could have even went for more. So I guess definitely look out for ukulele. Definitely look out for ukuleles. If you've ever sold a ukulele, please leave a comment below. definitely interesting piece. When I saw this sold, I was very happy for everyone because this is a very nice sale for sure. Next up, we have this Loro Piana Baby Cashmere. Yep, we're still selling those. We still are getting those in quite frequently. So the Loro Piana Baby Cashmeres. Of course, you know, like with the new mannequin and the backdrop, as you can see here, I think the photos are really starting to look amazing. Now, obviously, these aren't perfect, and we want to give a huge shout out to Toy Addict, who unfortunately is not in the chat room right now. But she said I should start taking photos of because I clip the backs to give the waist a form. She was saying that I should make one photo of it just hanging, just like this, because some women, they want to see how it sits, not how it's like. As me, I'm a very visual person, so everything's got to be stylized like this. You see how like this photo. Between this photo and this photo is like night and day. And I want to see if you guys notice anything in particular other than the clipping from the waist. And I'll give you a second. If you guess sleeve, that is correct. I actually clip the sleeves too. I actually will clip the sleeves in the back to give it that crinkly look. And for some reason, I love the visualization of that crinkle look in my photos. And so all that's clipped, but huge shout out to Toy Addict once again. Like I said, she was the one that was like, I should do one photo of the item hanging. So that's what I did. And of course, Loro Piana, a great brand. I want to say we took a best offer for $250 on this piece. I should have took a photo of the thing. I want to show you guys the label, what it looks like, so that you guys are aware of this particular brand. Hey, Krillin's in the house. What's up, man? You know what's funny is I talk about Loro Piana, and I bet you his freaking ears started to ring wherever he was, for sure. But yeah, so look out for this tag. Loro Piana, of course, is a Bolo brand. Baby Cashmere is if Bolo had a big brother, Super Bolo, Super Bolo. Baby Cashmere is definitely a Super Bolo. So definitely look out for that. So yeah, Krillin, what's up, man? Loro Piana is still rolling in. Baby Cashmere, and this one particular lady that donates these, I swear she probably wears them once. And they're literally in mint condition. I think out of all the Loro Piana stuff that we've gone through, only one of them had a hole. And to be honest, like, I didn't see the hole till we actually had one return because it had a hole. And to be honest, like, I don't even know if that hole was there when it left. So, you know, these are amazing pieces. They look great. Let's see here. Neski is saying, yes, the clip photo looks better. Of course. Yeah. I mean, this is like, yeah, of course. You know, this photo, the cropped, you know, the clips look amazing. But then, you know, people want to see how it's going to hang on the body. So I guess what I'm saying is, do what you got to do. Loro Piana is such an amazing brand. I love this brand. And thanks to Krillin. Like, I give all the props to Krillin in the chat room. Oh yeah, Krillin, I still sold that with holes. As a matter of fact, I have one Loro Piana sweater that is white, that is dirty, and it's kind of, I don't know what happened to it, but I guess it was a little grungy, and I'm not gonna really sell it, but I'm actually gonna tie dye it. It's white. It's a baby cashmere, and I'm gonna. If Bolo had a baby, it would be baby cashmere. Oh, that is so funny, dude. But anyways, Krillin, I'm gonna actually make a tie-dyed baby cashmere Loro Piana as a custom sweater and see if it sells. I thought that'd be pretty funny. Krillin's asking, did you check out Cucinelli yet? Cucinelli. No, I have not, man, and I know we talked about that before. I have actually have that brand in my notes. I just haven't done my research yet. But yeah, I heard that was a really good one. I haven't come across that yet. Next up, we have these red marbleized Bakelite poker chips. Now, who would have knew poker chips would go for 150 bucks? I've never sold poker chips before, and this is a huge shout out to Eureka, who was just killing it this month with these poker chips. Bakelite, for those that don't know, it's kind of like, it's like a resin plastic that came out in the 40s and the 50s, I want to say. Now, I'm not an expert at Bakelite, but I know that like the plastics of the 50s, because plastics were literally just coming out around that time. And so they were made out of this particular material, and there's a lot of jewelry and shit. I mean, even like Viewmaster cases for the Viewmasters in the 50s and 40s were like made out of Bakelite. There was a lot of Bakelite jewelry boxes. But anyways, this is definitely something to look out for. This actually sold for $150 for sure. Who would have knew these poker chips would sell for such an amazing price here? I guess people collect all kinds of vintage stuff. The collectibles and vintage really never usually goes out of style, especially collectibles and things like that. If you guys are enjoying the show, definitely click the like button. That helps the algorithm out and people can see what I'm doing here. We have 18 people in the chat. That's actually pretty good for my show. I don't really get too many people watching live, so I really appreciate that for sure. We're going to get into more stuff right now. Next up, we have this Royal Copenhagen lattice bowl black basket. This kind of reminds me of like a Ming vase kind of feel to it, doesn't it? Kind of look like that. This is a very nice piece of porcelain, I would say. And let's see here. Yeah, so this is what the marks look like on the bottom. Pretty big piece. This sold for $130 with 3 bids from Pleasanton, California. So congratulations to the Pleasanton shop. Very, very cool. Like I said, I was saying before, to go when you're in Goodwills and things, to definitely go and look for this kind of stuff, because I said like a lot of people they make a beeline to the DVDs and the clothes, but I mean there's so much great stuff in the glass and home decor section that people might be missing. Next up, we have this 14 karat gold flat chain. This was, I think I took a best offer for $115 on this. It was about a 4.55 gram. And a word of advice when you're doing chains is to measure the width, not the length, but also the width in millimeters, because a lot of people ask about that particular size also, you know. And like I said, this photo was my home photo. I didn't really put this as my home photo because I thought like this kind of really looked really good, just visually catching. As a matter of fact, this particular brushed aluminum plate here, I will usually take close-up photos of jewelry on this thing because it looks amazing. Some people use felt, like black felt, as a gold backer for taking photos, but I love this kind of brushed aluminum look. You'll see that with some of my jewelry pieces. As a matter of fact, let's go back a second here. That's what it, no, that's not a good one. That's what it looks like. Even though I didn't crop it all the way in, that's what it looks like when you when I use just the brushed aluminum with kind of that kind of thing here. Where was I? Right here. So yeah, gold sells, scrap. I always put scrap in my title, and I swear that always like gets a certain amount of people looking at stuff too. Even if it's not scrap, put it in there, because there's a lot of people that buy this stuff just to melt it down and make bricks because they're waiting for the apocalypse. They're waiting for the apocalypse. Yeah, a lot of YouTubers do scrap this kind of stuff. But, you know, that's what people do. They melt it down and they just kind of hold it as bullion. I don't want to get into the whole gold market thing, but, you know, there's a lot of people that say that the market's kind of messed with in the price of gold, and silver should actually be a lot higher than it is right now, because it's a lot scarcer than people think. Next up, we have this Bulova, I'm probably saying that wrong, watch. I was actually, you know, it was crazy. I think I was more proud of these photos than anything, because I thought like this photo was like so like really cool. Just everything about this photo I love. And I got a new camera in, or we got a camera donated to us, and it was broken, and I fixed it. So it's like, some of you have seen it. It's the Supreme camera. I think I posted a photo of that on Instagram a few weeks ago. But anyways, I'm finally figuring out all the fine tuning that needs to be done to get a photo like this. And to me, this is just a beautiful photo. Now for the watch, I wish the watch sold for a lot more than what we got for it. But you know, you can only get so much for sure. But yeah, for sure. And Krillin saying they say for like 80 cents on the dollar. Yep, pretty much. People usually just buy the gold. I usually don't get gold for spot. And so there's that. Hey, Landshark Picker is in the house. We were talking about Landshark Picker earlier. Definitely go and check out his channel. He's an awesome guy for sure. We did an interview a few days ago, so go and check that out. And he's got a new Chrome extension, and so go and check his channel out for sure. Anyways, I took a best offer for 40 on this, I think. It was Genuine Lizard. That was a strap. Genuine Lizard. So some poor innocent lizard had to go for this thing to go here. Hey, we got Death Piles in the house, man. It is an all-star crew in here today. I really appreciate everyone stopping in and chatting. Definitely click the like button. That helps the algorithm, helps me. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers, and so once we get there, I'm gonna have a 7,000 subscriber party. I really appreciate it. Death Piles, you're doing amazing stuff too. I've been watching your videos. Keep them up, man. Next up, we have this Cinnabar carved rose bangle. This wasn't one of my photos, but this thing sold 35 bucks. Look out for Cinnabar. And for those that don't know, Cinnabar is pretty much like a resin lacquer, and it's like a, what was it? It was like a mineral offshoot of mercury. It's got mercury inside it. That's what gives it the red color. So it's not like made out of rock. It's basically lacquer, and they use I want to say it's like quartz or something like that. It's a particular mineral that gives it the red color. So they crush up the mineral or whatever they do, and that's what gives the lacquer the red color, and then the lacquer cures, and then they carve it. But anyways, that's what this is. So if you ever see Cinnabar, that's what that is. Usually, I guess there's like kind of manufactured Cinnabar, but it's kind of funny because in a way, even ancient Cinnabar is really manufactured when you think about it. It's just lacquer, and people just carve it once it sets. But anyways, this sold for $35. Definitely look out for these things. You've seen these before. Like I said, if it kind of looks, because actually, the fake ones are usually wood, and then they will paint it to look like this color. But the really true ones are the lacquer that's mixed in with the pigment, the Cinnabar pigment. That's actually true Cinnabar. So, anyways, Texas Gal Treasures knows about Cinnabar, and she has some great videos on that. And if I can remember, I'll put a link to Texas Gal Treasures Cinnabar video up there. Speaking of Gucci, we got it in Gucci. We got a Gucci embroidered tiger shirt. This is actually really cool. We actually started this thing at $9.99 for bidding. And for those that don't know, I think the link's below to the American Cancer Society shop that I help run. We start a lot of auctions at $9.99, so there's some pretty good stuff that actually goes under the radar there. So definitely go and check that out if you're looking for some online arbitrage opportunities. But anyways, we started this at $9.95, and then people just started bidding like crazy. 31 bids, $106. Size small, new at tags. Did it say what the price was on this thing? No, it didn't. But anyways, you know, really high quality shirt. Very cool. The polo. Not my style, but someone will look good in it. Not me, that's for sure. Speaking of style, we got a Vince goat leather. Yes, you heard it, folks. Goat leather. I didn't know goat leather was a thing. Like I said, I'm not too much into clothing, but goat leather. And I want to talk. We saw that. So let me back up a little bit. We took a best offer for $100 on this thing. It was I forget what size this was. What did it say? What size? Woman's large. But I want to show you. I kind of want to step into like my mindset here. Now, this is how the jacket's probably supposed to be worn, correct? Right? But I thought, like, when I put it up, this looks so cool. Like, I love the look of this. And though traditionally a jacket probably should be worn like a collar like that, I thought this looked cool. Like a futuristic kind of like fashion, like apocalypse, like futuristic kind of like rugged, like Mad Max look. So I went with this as my header photo. And I really think that is what sold this thing. I mean, this photo of this jacket like this is okay, but tell me the truth, everyone in the chat. Doesn't that look badass like that? So that's what I did. But anyways, this was a Vince jacket, a goat jacket. I would say like Vince, I'm not too familiar with that company. I heard of Vince, but you know, I thought this wouldn't have sold for this much. But anyways, we took a best offer for that. And Nishiki saying Angora can be rabbit or goat. Interesting. Interesting. Hey, Oxer Professor is in the house. Wow. It is really an all-star cast of characters here in the chat room. If you're not following Don, definitely go down there and follow him. Just click the little three little dots. It'll take you to his channel. Go and subscribe to him ASAP. I was just watching his video today about people quitting eBay, complaining about you know, the different changes that happens with eBay. So go check out Don. He's a really awesome dude. But anyways, like I said, I thought this really cool. I thought this photo was awesome. The way that I set up the collar to look like Mad Max. So maybe that caused it to sell. Maybe not. I don't know. Next up, we have this Dooney and Burke. This was a Stockton sale, and as you can see, the photos are a little different. This isn't one of my photos, but this sold. I think they took a best offer for 40 something on this. So we get in purses and handbags in all the time. So if you want to go check out some deals, definitely go down there and click the link below and send me a reasonable best offer, and I will take a look at some of those. Next up, we have this Barbie Classic, a 1962 Austin Healey sports vehicle. This thing is a big old plastic thing. Now, when we first got this in, I thought it was a Corvette, so I'm not going to lie. And it's kind of funny because I've been in the car business, the toy car business, I should say. I ran a die-cast collectible shop for 3 years. So the fact that I got the make and the model of this wrong kind of threw me off. I thought it was like a 60s Corvette, which it's not. It's a 60s Austin Healey. And I want to give a huge shout out to Toy Addict that pointed that out when I was like, hey, is this a Corvette? What the hell is this thing? This thing was in a pretty good condition for being from 1962, especially it's plastic. You know, there was some chrome from the plastic that was kind of flaking off. But that's kind of like right there, as you can see. And of course, you know, there was wear on the wheel where Barbie just, you know, after a party would just go driving like crazy down the street. Anyways, this sold for $49.99 plus $9.99 shipping. This sold via UPS Ground. So Barbie stuff is still popular after all these years. Next up, we have this Advanced Dungeons and Dragons set. We had 4 of these, 4 different types. Now looking back in it, I probably should have did a buy it now on these instead of doing bidding, because I think these probably would have went for a lot more than $43. Some of them, this was actually the highest priced one. They went in about the $30 range, 30 something dollar range. For those who don't know, Dungeons and Dragons, of course, these little pewter lead figures. They're unpainted. They go off in little adventures. You do your little book thing. You roll the damn dice, and you see who gets 5 hit points and all that stuff. You sometimes actually come across these that are painted, and I've actually sold painted ones for a lot of money, and you'd think like the unpainted ones would be worth more. Not necessarily all the time, for sure. Let's see here. Oxygen Professor saying I had one of those in the box sold for $275. Yeah, I think you're talking about the Austin Healey, and I'm sure that's for sure. I would have put $75 by now on those. We've sold tons of them. Yep. So Don's saying he agrees, $75 on these Dungeons and Dragons. You're correct. I think we've seen some of these sell for, you know, $100 plus. It's one of those things where, you know, bidding sometimes it's just the wrong time of year. You got the wrong people looking at it, and you know it's hard to judge. It's like one of those things where buy it now is, you know, usually the thing to do. But we do bidding and stuff like that. So like I said, there's some pretty good online arbitrage to be had in our shop for sure. I think Don actually has 100% buy it nows, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's saying he sold single figures for over $100. I think the Demigorgon was going for a lot of money once Stranger Things came out. I remember like buying. I remember we didn't even get to talk about this, Don, on the last show. Is I worked in post-production for 15 years, and so I worked on a lot of movies and TV shows before they came out. And I actually bought some Demigorgons before the release of the show, because I was like, oh, people are going to start to go crazy over these things. And, you know, I did pretty good on those. And that just goes to show you it's like a really weird being in those really crazy circumstances. And I guess the funniest story, the best story about knowing something that's coming out before it came out was Straight Outta Compton, that Eazy-E NWA movie. They had some Eazy-E Ruthless records that were featured in that movie, and I remember buying like all the sealed ones I could find. They were selling for like $9, $12, and I remember buying all the sealed ones I could find. And when the movie came out, everyone was looking for those, and those were going for $80 to $120 a piece. So that was like one of those situations where thinking outside the box, my friend, like we talked about before. But Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, keep an eye out for this stuff for sure. Buy it, buy it, buy it if the price is right. Right now, there's a huge resurgence of this kind of stuff, especially thanks to Stranger Things. Really brought, you know, Dungeons and Dragons back to life for sure. Next up, we have this 1958 Swiss etching, Hans Ernie. Now, I've seen some Hans Ernie stuff before. This is an etching. It's not really like an original or anything like that. I'm trying to think if this thing was actually even signed. Yeah, it's just an etching. It wasn't even signed, but we took, I think I took a best offer for $58 on this thing with $13.99 shipping. This thing shipped perfectly in a medium flat rate box. One of those longer ones, one of the game board looking ones. But yeah, we saw framed art all the time. This one didn't happen to go on the, what do you call it? I can't even think right now. My brain's a mush. Next up, we have these Minecraft books. We don't really do too many books, though. You know, we do try to sell stuff in a variety of price ranges to grow the business. And so this one, we took a best offer for $10 on this one with $5 medium mail. We talked about a medium mail before, so definitely look into that. You can't ship a lot of things. It's basically just books. Pretty much stuff with any print material without advertising in it. It's usually what I tell people. It's usually the easiest thing to remember. VHSs, music, LPs, DVDs, all that kind of stuff could ship medium mail. And I think Don was saying you can ship up to 70 pounds. So, I mean, you could save a lot of money. And you could save your customers a lot of money, because you want customers to come back. You know, it's one thing to be all happy about your sell-through rate, but it's also another thing to be happy about returning customers, which I think is a big part of the business that no one really talks about either. Next up, we talk about the models. And Don, you got to go to the very first thing that we showed if you're showing up late. I sold a phaser, a kit phaser, a garage kit phaser for $180. So you can go back and watch that. It's the very first thing. But anyways, we had, like I said, a lot of Star Trek model kits that came in that were actually opened, and this one sold for $15.50 with bids. For those that are interested, there's a huge market in decals, and I've never really talked about this. And Don, this is actually a great video idea for you, is to talk about slide decals, how people part out. You can, you know, buy lots of these things and part them out, and you know, there's a huge market in slide decals. For sure. And for those who don't know, these decals, you cut them out, you put them in water, and they slide off onto the models after they're done. You're done painting them and stuff like that. And there's also other things you can do to make the decal stick, but that's pretty much what these are, and that is that. So that is that. I really appreciate everyone tuning in. I know this was a long, geez, this is almost an hour. I've never done a things for sure, but I really appreciate everyone stopping by. Definitely click the like button. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who joined in the chat. I really appreciate everyone's support. You guys are awesome. Click the subscribe button. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers. And definitely go and check out all the people in the chat room and their channels, especially Landshark Picker, Auction Professor, Krillin, and all the amazing people. Death Piles was here. Tracy Thrifts. Go check them all out for sure. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a great weekend. What's left of it.